Happy New Year, everyone! Have you made your New Year's goals yet? Mine is to keep y'all in the know as all these 2022 announcements continue to come to the surface. So, I guess I should kick things off with a nice 2022 overview. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Today I'm going to give you a nice summary of what we're all expecting to happen in 2022. Now, food for thought here before we get started. Many of these announcements that we received for new rides, attractions, and restaurants still don't have definite opening dates, so I'll fill you in on what we know at the moment, then keep you updated throughout the year on this channel as we learn more about the nitty-gritty details. After all, I gotta stick with my 2022 resolutions, right? Right. First, let's talk about rides and attraction openings. We've got some new rides coming to town in Disney World this year. We've been on pins and needles wondering when some of these ones are going to finally see the light of day. But we're hoping that this is finally going to be the year we cross these rides off our bucket lists. Let's start in Epcot. Now, Epcot's already seen its fair share of new experiences in 2021. Space 220, finally. Le Crêperie de Paris, Creations Shop, and the reimagined Club Cool with the infamous return of the Dear Beverly soda. The Harmonious Nighttime Spectacular is finally here, and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opened as well. But Epcot is not done. There's still a reason it's often referred to as Walcott. There are still a ton of construction walls around this park, alluding to the fact that Epcot's in a major state of renovation. Epcot's major transformation was first announced at the 2019 D23 Expo, in which we were informed that Epcot would soon be sectioned off in an entirely new way. Instead of keeping the park in two main chunks, aka Future World and World Showcase, the park is now going to be four distinct neighborhoods. World Celebration, which is the central neighborhood with Spaceship Earth. World Nature, containing the land and seas pavilions. World Discovery, where Mission Space and Space 220 reside. And World Showcase, which is practically perfect just the way it is, apparently. This change in neighborhoods officially kicked off on October 1st, 2021, but you can't really tell a difference yet, I guess. So the distinct neighborhoods didn't necessarily completely change Epcot. It's just kind of cutting up the park in a different way. Instead of a ride like Living with the Land being in the same area as a ride like Mission Space, now the neighborhoods keep categories better aligned, which will help make way for the new experiences coming in the future. Over in World Discovery, the high-speed indoor attraction Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is currently being built to be Disney's first ever reverse launching coaster. This roller coaster will be housed in an all-new intergalactic pavilion called Wonders of Xandar, where guests will learn about the differences and similarities between the galaxies of Earth and Xandar. This coaster is a family-friendly omni-coaster, meaning it has the ability to spin a full 360 degrees. No, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a spinning coaster like what you may have once experienced over at Primeval Whirl in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Moment of silence, please. Instead, this spinning ability will play into the story and allow every rider, no matter where they're seated, to see the action unfold unobstructed. Cosmic Rewind is opening this summer, as announced by the Destination D23 panel back in November 2021. Do we have an actual date? Of course not. Meanwhile, over in World Nature, Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, is currently underway. This immersive attraction will allow guests to walk through a lush exploration trail and interact with colorful living waters along the path. Read, this is going to be a good one for your toddlers that can't get their energy out any other way. Still, no word on when this attraction will be ready for explorers to stroll along, but we're crossing our fingers for 2022. I'll talk more about Epcot later in the video, but for now, let's jump over to Magic Kingdom and take a gander at that ginormous roller coaster that's been teasing us for the longest time in Tomorrowland, Tron Light Cycle Run. Tron Light Cycle Run is another high-speed roller coaster where riders will board their own two-wheeled light cycle and race through the digital frontier. Now, this ride isn't a brand new concept. Shanghai Disney already has the Tron coaster in their neck of the woods, and it is epic. We're talking lights, energy, and 59-mile-per-hour speeds. Plus, the coaster will provide you with a different ride-through depending on what time of the day you're going. The shifting light panels of this indoor coaster will change between night and day, so you want to hit this one up twice and see which lighting you like best. Although we've been seeing major progress made on the Tron coaster through our numerous ride-throughs of the People Mover, which will give you the best angle on the construction process of this new ride, by the way, Disney has yet to release an official opening date. Once upon a time, Tron was supposed to open up on Disney World's 50th anniversary, but the 2020 closures pushed things back. So now we're just twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the day Disney finally tells us 2022 is the year you will ride Tron Light Cycle Run. Everybody cross your fingers and put good energy and vibes out into the universe. And then there's the good old Walt Disney World Railroad. This isn't a new ride in the slightest, but it is a ride we haven't gotten to experience since 2018, when it originally closed for the Tron construction. During the Destination D23 conference, we learned that the train has been undergoing some major refurbishments during its extended closure, so it should look pretty doggone dapper upon its return. But when will it return? Again, no news of its opening yet, but because Destination D23 did give us a glimpse of what the finished #1 engine refurbishment looks like, a 2022 reopening doesn't seem completely bizarre, right? Now, before I wrap up this section, I do have to mention the Splash Mountain re-theme, which is a tricky timeline to tackle because I assume this is happening in 2022, but we didn't get any word of if that was the case for sure or not during Destination D23. But you may be like, hey Jade, Splash Mountain, what are you talking about? Okay, let me back up a second here. Back in 2020, Disney announced that the Magic Kingdom's water flume ride Splash Mountain would undergo a major retheming, and so is the one in Disneyland. They're both going to transform from a Song of the South themed ride to a Princess and the Frog themed ride. The last announcement we got for this one was back in August 2021, where we got to see the first looks of the ride concept art and hear a bit more about the overarching storyline. Princess Tiana's new ride will take place after she and Prince Naveen say their I do's at the end of the Princess and the Frog movie. Spoiler alert, maybe? Tiana will take guests on an expedition in the bayou where they'll see familiar faces and new characters alike. There'll also be a Mardi Gras party in the final ride scene. Another spoiler alert, I guess. Other than that, we haven't heard much in the way of when Splash Mountain will stop taking guests to the Laughing Place. So for now, Brer Rabbit and the gang remain, but for how much longer? And we do know the Walt Disney World Splash Mountain is going to undergo a refurbishment here in 2022, but it's going to be a short one, and Disney's already said this has nothing to do with the Tiana retheming. So if Splash Mountain's closed in early 2022 when you're there, probably has nothing to do with this one. Just routine maintenance. All right, number 2, let's talk about the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Though there aren't a lot of cemented timelines in 2022 just yet, there is one exact date we've received, and that's for the Star Wars Hotel. Now, like I just said, we call this the Star Wars Hotel, but there's going to be a lot more to it. This is a location where you'll be able to crash at the end of the day, and you'll have places where you can dine when you're hungry. But that's really the only thing that the Star Cruiser and an average Disney hotel will have in common. The Galactic Star Cruiser will work more like a cruise ship that takes you into space instead of across the sea. And by take you into space, I mean in the way Space 220 takes you into space with its advanced tech and projection mapping. The future is now, everyone. This 2-night experience immerses you in a Star Wars adventure, and you and your travel party are supposed to be able to become characters that can directly control the storylines of this journey through space. Now, we do know that the Galactic Star Cruiser will be opening its doors starting March 1st, 2022, and the experience is pricey, like $5,000 pricey, and it's booking up fast. So if you're interested in staying at this one-of-a-kind interactive Star Wars experience, you'll need to check and see if reservations are still available during the time you want to visit. Okay, let's talk Magic Band Plus next. Because even Magic Bands are getting an update in 2022. Magic Bands have been around since 2013. They've experienced their fair share of design changes since that time, whether it be changes in the shape, where you could remove the center of the Magic Band and wear it like a keychain if you preferred, or changes in theming, what with all the limited edition bands and fun customizable options you could choose from too. But in 2022, Magic Bands are going to experience their biggest change yet. Magic Band Plus will allow guests to interact with Disney World in a whole new way, according to Disney, with its color-changing haptic vibrations and movement recognition technology. Depending on what Magic Band Plus you choose, you may experience the Disney parks in a completely different way. For example, if you get a Magic Band Plus that's Star Wars themed, the bracelet could transform you into a bounty hunter and send you on missions to track down virtual bounties. Magic Band Plus tech will give guests the ability to interact with the 50th anniversary golden statues in a whole new way. And their new color-changing capabilities will link up with Magic Kingdom's fireworks show, Disney Enchantment, and Epcot's nighttime spectacular, Harmonious. Though there's no exact date as to when these shiny new gadgets will be released, Disney did say that they expect them to be available at the beginning of the year, so we'll keep on the lookout for when they hit the shelves. Number 4, Mears Connect and the Sunshine Flyer. Goodbye, Disney's Magical Express. You were a good shuttle system and did a lovely job transporting guests from the Orlando International Airport and over to their respective Disney resorts. But now your time has come to an end, and in your place, the Mears Connect. Disney World welcomed Mears Connect into its realm of transportation services on January 1st. Much like Disney's Magical Express, Mears Connect takes guests to and from the MCO and over to their Disney resort. But unlike Disney's Magical Express, this service is not complimentary. To reserve your spot on the Mears Connect shuttle, you need to go to the Mears Connect website and select your preferred method of travel, standard or express service. According to the Mears Connect website, standard service is a shared service with large and small vehicles, monitored wait time, and limited stops. But the express service has limited wait times and direct service, but is not considered a private service. Introductory rates for a ride on the standard Mears Connect service cost $16 per adult for one way and $32 for round trip. Kids cost $13.50 per kid on the standard service and $27 round trip. If you decide to go the express route, this premium service costs $200 for up to 4 passengers and an extra $55 for each additional passenger. And this is always a round trip service. For a while, we were mentioning how your only other transportation options from the airport and into Disney World were going to be rideshare services, rental cars, or taxis. But Disney recently announced an all-new replacement travel service that will be another alternative you can consider. Transportation Management Service recently announced their new themed bus service, the Sunshine Flyer, that will transport guests from Orlando International Airport to Disney World resorts. By the looks of these pictures we're seeing of the shuttle service so far, the buses will be wrapped to look like a 1920s train. These buses will also have USB chargers and a bathroom, just in case you didn't relieve yourself after you got off the plane. The Sunshine Flyer will say all aboard to guests starting on February 1st, 2022. In the meantime, you'll want to check out this shuttle service pricing. Sorry everyone, this still isn't a complimentary shuttle service like DME. Tickets are priced at $17 per adult and $12.50 per child for a one-way trip. Round trip is $34 for adults and $25 per child. Kids under 2 ride free. Just make sure to book your seat on this bus/train at least 4 days before your arrival. Number 5 on our list, Hey Disney. Have you ever looked at your Alexa and thought, man, I wish this device was more Disney-fied? Well, Disney's giving us a taste of what a Disney-fied Alexa looks like. Hey Disney is a custom voice assistant that will be available not only in your Disney hotel rooms soon, but will also be available for your personal Alexa and Amazon Echo devices. But the Hey Disney featured in the Disney resorts will be a little different. Judging by the early pictures teased during Destination D23, the tech will be able to help you order room amenities, contact guest services, explore Disney fun, such as contact some of your favorite Disney characters virtually, and even help you plan out your Disney day. This service will also be available over at the Disneyland hotels in Anaheim, California. And I know this is starting to sound like a broken record, but there's no set release date for these gizmos. However, Disney has stated they're planning on releasing the tech while Disney's 50th anniversary celebration is still taking place. And FYI, this hotel room edition will be free to use for everybody. Don't want to use Hey Disney? You can just unplug it. Okay, let's talk restaurants. I already mentioned how Epcot's already given us Space 220 and La Crêperie de Paris in 2021, but now it's also giving us another brand new restaurant for 2022. Connections Cafe and Eatery is going to be a quick service location in Epcot's World Celebration neighborhood. This is basically replacing Electric Umbrella. We don't know much about this restaurant just yet, but we did get to see some concept art of it at Destination D23. It looks artsy and bright, a lot like Epcot's new flagship store Creation Shop. I don't know about you, but I'll be watching for this new menu to drop 24/7. That's an exaggeration. I am interested to see if this quick service is going to provide standard theme park options or something with a little more variety, but I do need to sleep as well. But while we're on the subject of food, can I just add one more restaurant that we still don't know much about in terms of if it's opening this year or not? I'm talking about the long-awaited table service restaurant Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. This table service location was originally slated to open at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Toy Story Land in 2020, but park closures. Since Disney World's reopening, we haven't heard much about the new barbecue location, but what we do know is that the construction walls are still up around that area, and that the concept art for this place looks like a ton of fun. Of course, it's themed to Toy Story and Woody's Roundup. In the meantime, if you're craving some barbecue, you can also hit up the Regal Eagle Smokehouse at Epcot's American Adventure Pavilion. They'll serve you up some nice hearty options like the South Carolina smoked sausage sandwich, the Kansas City smoked half chicken, and by the way, if you try their brisket sauce, it tastes just like my dad's barbecue sauce. Real spicy. Okay, are you ready for parades? Let's talk about Festival of Fantasy. This parade is finally returning to Magic Kingdom in 2022 after 2 years gone. We wondered if that'd be the case after Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade showed up during Disney Very Merriest After Hours, considering it was the first full-fledged parade to return to the park since the 2020 closure. And now Disney has confirmed our suspicions, so we'll be waiting patiently for the return of this classic parade to grace the streets of Magic Kingdom once more. Hopefully we see it come back sooner rather than later. And now I'm on a returning experience kick, and it's just so exciting to see old favorites come back to the parks, even if those experiences will take on a fresh new look the next time we see them. During Destination D23, our ears perked up when we finally heard what we've been waiting to hear since 2020. Fantasmic is returning. Disney's Hollywood Studios just hasn't been the same without our good buddy Sorcerer Mickey swooping in to save the day from the larger-than-life Maleficent dragon. But apparently, Fantasmic's been undergoing a few changes since its last performance. Now, Disney's been keeping these changes pretty hush-hush, but from what we know, a whole scene is going to be reimagined and feature new characters, stunt performers, and animation. And over in Disney's Animal Kingdom, we were sad to hear about Finding Nemo the musical closing its doors, though I must admit the release of Kite Tales helped alleviate some of that pain. But Nemo and his friends aren't going to stay gone. You know why? Because they just keep swimming. I'm sorry. This musical is currently being reimagined as Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, which will feature the classic songs we know and love from the original musical, but instead take place in the Marine Life Institute from Finding Dory. And who can forget our dearly missed castle show, Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair. That's right, a castle stage show is returning in 2022, but now we're going to be introduced to Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair instead. We're not sure how many similarities the Magical Friendship Fair will have to the Royal Friendship Fair, but we're excited to see it make its debut nonetheless. Next, let's head over to the returning festivals. Along with all the new and exciting experiences coming to the parks this year, let's get pumped for our favorite returning Epcot festivals. Epcot's Festival of the Arts is right around the corner. The Festival of the Arts will start January 14th and wrap up on February 22nd. A lot of our past favorite booths are returning in 2022. Deconstructed Dish is coming back, Goshiki in the Japan Pavilion, which means we're also hopefully saying hello again to the Sushi Donut. Pop Eats is coming back. Maybe that tomato soup will come back again. You can keep up to date with all the latest Festival of the Arts food booth announcements here or on our DFB website. I'll link the Festival of the Arts page in the description below. Along with returning favorites, Festival of the Arts is also introducing 2 brand new booths. The Craftsman's Courtyard will be a California-inspired kiosk serving up fresh salads and seafood, while Deco Delights will have desserts inspired by Art Deco. According to Disney, the bites at Deco Delights will take on the gilded glamour of the roaring 20s to the bright pastels of Miami Beach. Wow, that's quite a promise. But the festival is about more than food. Shocking, I know. You can also take part in painting a section of the giant paint by number mural, explore the chalk art along the sidewalks, partake in Figment's yearly scavenger hunt, or most importantly, check out the numerous art booths around the World Showcase and maybe meet an artist or two while you're at it. Try not to be too much of a weirdo like me and fawn all over your favorite artists, because I do that all the time. Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival already has its scheduled days for the spring season as well. Flower and Garden is going to take place between March 2nd and July 4th, so it's actually more of a spring-summer festival now. I'm looking forward to seeing all the character topiaries pop up around the park again, not to mention I can already taste that food, the specialty food booths. We'll keep you updated as we learn more about what will be returning to the festival. And we're going to keep you in the know about the other festivals that happen later in the year. Epcot's Food and Wine Festival and Festival of the Holidays. We're sure they're coming back, we just don't know when. So 2022 is going to be a busy year, y'all, which reminds me, I'm going to have to make another New Year's resolution for myself. I got to practice being patient because I'm so ready to hear more about these announcements and finally get these dates set so I can start planning the trips and booking the hotels and booking the flights and making sure I've got everything ready to go. If you're ready to stay in the know as well, go ahead and sign up for the DFB newsletter. That way, when I start learning about the official release dates for the experiences I talked about today, or if I learn about any other breaking news that I have to pass on to you, I'll be able to drop you the 411 right in your inbox. It's totally free. It's super, super useful. I hope you'll join up. All right, there's 2022. Let's dive in, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.